I just learned something during the break with one of the guys back there in the shipping office. His parents live in Lake Jackson, 3 doors down from the Pauls. Yeah, it's one of those subdivision/rural areas backing up on folks' little pieces of property. And he says he was out there, I think he said just a few weeks ago, and it was 100-something degrees. And there's Ron Paul mowing the yard and doing stuff in the garden and everything. He's just a regular guy who milked cows and then, of course, had a milk run. He's a little kid, got up every day at 3:30 in the morning and went and did it. And he's just old line America, what's left of it. And a doctor, so disciplined, dedicated, knowing there's a mission, literally pouring out his whole essence. Guys, will you pull up the Teddy Roosevelt quote? Teddy Roosevelt quote in the arena. And then put it on screen. I want to read that on air. You know, it doesn't matter about the critics, people that never actually do anything and just sit back and throw stones, people like Ron Paul. What matters is the man in the arena. And you may not win every time, but as long as you're doing right, in the end, you'll be an example to others who are going to win. And it doesn't matter one way or the other if Ron Paul win, loses, or draws. If he wins, we probably get this country back faster. But if he loses, the ideas are there, and ideas are bulletproof. And it's called The Man in the Arena. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, and whose shortcomings come short again and again. It's so far away I can't read it, so we'll just print it later and I'll read it. But again, I'm going to try it again. Here we go. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, like I just did, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Thanks for putting that on the screen for me, guys. Listen, I know I'm standing up for what's right. I know my nightly news show isn't going to be as slick as other people's. I don't care. It's the information. I know I'm not the best-looking talk show host in the world. I know I'm not even the most eloquent, but I know basic principles of liberty, and I'm a fighter, and I'm not backing down. I'm committed. And there's a good feeling in being fearless. I'm not writing my family off from danger from the government. I realize they have no future if I don't commit them and everything else I am to the fight for liberty. You understand that, ladies and gentlemen? So they do have a chance. I've got to commit everything. And it's that attitude. And Ron Paul, I'm 37 years old, and I know his schedule. I work 70% as much as he does. He's 76 years old, and he works like a tireless slave to liberty. I mean, I don't know how you describe it. And he's not perfect, but he's the best thing we've seen in a generation. Get behind Ron Paul. I got all this news. I want to get to your calls. Don't forget the TV show launches tomorrow night, 9/1/11. If you're not at prisonplanet.tv, remember, become one. Support us in the fight against the globalists. Get the reports and get them out to everybody you know. Information is power.